When Mr. Richards failed to stop, Officer Remington fired 9 rounds, striking him in the back and side. And then, as you saw, Mr. Richards fell out of his wheelchair onto the floor. Officers rendered medical care, but a short time later, Mr. Richards was declared dead.
Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Expo. Today is Sunday, January 2nd, 2022. Time is, I don't know what time it is. Hold on, let's see. Get the phone going. 2:57 p.m. Yes, Jersey time, no other time. All right, well, we got another hero, you know, and this really applies what I always say all the time. Another well-trained professional, dedicated, I might add, hero, always a hero, out risking your life, my life, everybody's life as they protect and serve the government. This story was all over the internet when it came out, and I'm just getting to it now, people, but it's really disgusting. And I even mentioned to somebody I know who's in law enforcement, and they shook their heads too. You know, this is just plain stupidness. I want to know who signs off on these cops. All right, reporting USA Today, came out on December 1st, 2021. Tucson police to fire officer who fatally shot a man in a wheelchair 9 times from behind. You know, you're not even safe. You're handicapped, you're in a wheelchair, you can't walk, and you're still not safe from these sociopaths. Well, here's the story right there, people. There is video for that. I'll try to include the video for you. All right, let's find out. I mean, I know what the story's about, but I wait to get the update, see what they're going to do. All right, Tucson, Arizona. Police said Tuesday a Tucson officer would be fired after video showed him fatally shoot a man in a motorized wheelchair while confronting him over allegedly shoplifting. Surveillance video of the Monday shooting shows Richard Lee Richards. Who the hell names their kid Richard when your last name is Richards? 61, entering a Lowe's in a wheelchair before an officer later identified as Ryan Remington fires his gun 9 times at Richards' back side. Richard was pronounced dead shortly afterwards. Before Richards entered the Lowe's, a Walmart employee had reported Richards, who suspected of shoplifting a toolbox. Tucson Police Chief Chris Manis said Tuesday at a news conference, when asked to show a receipt, the Walmart employee told police that Richard pulled out a knife and said, "Here's your receipt." Remington was working off-duty as a security at Walmart and has been with the department for 4 years. Magda said Tuesday that Remington would be fired. Well, Remington just caused everybody a big problem. Now, I don't know what how this lawsuit, he's going to get sued. There's no doubt about it. The lawsuit's coming. Now, the question is the police department liable for this? Because he was working as a private person for Walmart. So I would say Walmart has a serious problem going on right at the moment. And I suspect the Tucson police are going to have a problem too, because their other officers showed up. And yeah, so it's going to be one big lawsuit, and it'll be settled. Here's what we know, what the video of the Tucson police shows. After Richards left the Walmart store, Remington followed him around the parking lot and can be seen on video calling for backup. Officer Stephanie Taylor responded, arriving at the scene as Remington was approaching Richards near the Lowe's entrance. Footage of her body-worn camera shows her run out of her vehicle towards Richards. "You need to stop," someone is heard saying, and then he's got his knife in his other hand. Well, what's he going to do? He's in a wheelchair. What's the most he can do? That? "You need to stop," someone's heard saying, blah, blah, blah. "Do not go into the store, sir." Taylor draws her gun too. Video captured by low security cameras show Richards entered the store in a wheelchair, followed by 2 officers with their guns drawn a few feet behind. Why they got the goddamn gun drawn now? The guy's in a wheelchair and he has a knife. Where's he going? He can't walk. And you got a knife? You got your gun out? You can't just go over and hit him with the pepper spray? You couldn't whap him upside his head with a nightstick? You couldn't tase him? Who is training these people? And what is their mindset? Where is this? I don't want to say common sense, because there's no such thing as common sense, but I look at this thing and I go, all right, he's in a wheelchair. I got to have a gun out? You can't just stick your knife. You worried about him going away in the wheelchair or something? Stick I don't know what kind of wheelchair. I forgot. Maybe you stick the knife stick in the spoke or something. I don't know. But a gun's out for a guy in a wheelchair with a knife? Richards enters the store in a wheelchair, followed by 2 officers with their guns drawn a few feet behind him. Stop now, you need to, Taylor starts saying, but it's interrupted by Remington firing his gun, according to the body camera video. Richards was facing away from the officers when Remington fired his gun 9 times. All right. Sorry, people. I have to keep interrupting. Okay, first of all, he's in front of you. His back's to you. He's not an immediate threat to you. If he was in front and he's coming at you with his knife in a hand, now he's a threat. But again, he's in a wheelchair. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Gonna run your toe over with the wheel? Richards was facing away from the officers when Remington fired his gun 9 times at Richards' back and side. Body camera footage show. Richards immediately fell out of his wheelchair as Remington rushed toward him and handcuffed the man, who remained crumpled on the ground. What we know about Officer Remington. Officer Remington is an idiot. That's what we know about him. That's all we need to know. Officer Remington is an incompetent idiot, and I want to know who signed off on him. Officer Ryan Remington has been with the Tucson Police Department for 4 years. His attorney Mike Story said in a statement that Remington had no non-lethal option. Well, we know that's a lie, so why would we even listen to that? He did have a taser, but in his mind, he couldn't use it because it's more fun to shoot the person in the back. He had the proper spread to deploy it with the wheelchair between him and Richards. You know, one of the things, too, is he shoots him at close range like that. That bullet can go right through, and fortunately, nobody else got hurt here. The Pima County Attorney's Office is reviewing the fatal shooting for possible criminal charges against Remington. Well, Remington should get criminal charges. He murdered that man. To be very clear, I am deeply disturbed and troubled by Officer Remington's actions. Police Chief Magnus said at the news conference his use of deadly force in this incident is a clear violation of department policy and directly contradicts multiple aspects of our use of force and training. Tucson Mayor Regina Romero said Remington's actions were unconscionable and indefensible, and the county attorney's office has her support as it proceeds with its investigating. The shooting happened a day after Tucson police announced it was investigating another incident involving an off-duty officer who restrained 2 young women on the ground outside a restaurant. Well, folks, another well-trained idiot and another life taken. So what's the count up to now? I know it's over 1,000 people dead now for 2021, dead at the hands of police officers. But, you know, you'll never hear law enforcement talk about that on their Facebook. You know, the latest thing now, Cop again, is they keep putting little picture stories up of officers who got killed in the line of duty. And not that that's to say that their lives any less, because it's tragic, but they never talk about, you know, they want sympathy. Oh, look at our officers got killed. Well, how many officers got killed on that? Was it 50 a year, and have them to create the problem themselves? But they don't want to feel sorry for the over 1,000 people that they kill, unarmed people that they kill, and destroy those lives. And think about it, people. It's over 1,000 each year. And if you take 10 years, that is 10,000 people that police have killed and have upset those families and taken that loved one away from that family. But they're not going to talk about it because, you know, we all know that many more sociopaths and narcissists, they lack empathy, and it's all about them and not us, and they want the sympathy factor, and they don't get sympathy factor from me. I'm John Van Dyke for New Jersey Exposed. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Till next time, people.
So here's some background and additional information on the incident. As I said, last night, shortly before 6 p.m., a Walmart employee contacted a Tucson police officer who was working a special duty assignment that's basically a security detail at Walmart. The Walmart employee told the officer that an individual in a motorized wheelchair, later identified as Richard Lee Richards, date of birth 9/13 of 60, had stolen a toolbox. TPD officer Ryan Remington, who's been with the department 4 years, joined the Walmart employee in the parking lot and followed Mr. Richards while attempting to gain his cooperation. According to the employee, he caught up with Mr. Richards outside as he fled the store, and he asked to see the receipt for the toolbox. Now, instead of providing the receipt, Mr. Richards brandished a knife and said, "Here's your receipt." Officer Remington wanted Mr. Richards to stop and to surrender his knife. Mr. Richards refused to comply and instead continued to head through the Walmart and Lowe's parking lots. Now, according to the Walmart employee, Mr. Richards said, "If you want me to put down the knife, you're going to have to shoot me." As Mr. Richards approached the entrance to the garden section of Lowe's, Officer Stephanie Taylor arrived to assist Officer Remington. Now, both officers were just a short distance behind Mr. Richards when they warned him not to enter the store. When Mr. Richards failed to stop, Officer Remington fired 9 rounds, striking him in the back and side. And then, as you saw, Mr. Richards fell out of his wheelchair onto the floor. Officers rendered medical care, but a short time later, Mr. Richards was declared dead. To be very clear, I am deeply disturbed and troubled by Officer Remington's actions. His use of deadly force in this incident is a clear violation of department policy and directly contradicts multiple aspects of our use of force and training. As a result, the department moved earlier today to terminate Officer Remington. So I'd like you to note that this entire incident is being reviewed by the Pima County Attorney's Office. Because of this, we are not able to comment any further. As this investigation moves forward, we will provide additional details as they become available.